Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Gold Rush Season 14, Episode 2 Call of the Indian River. Gold Rush is back. The Discovery Show's Season 14 premiere was a satisfying episode that has fans of the gold mining show buzzing. There are huge gold goals. Most of all, there is a lot of drama. In this exciting episode, Rick Ness returned to the Yukon, seeking redemption. Next, Tony Beats lost a family member in his quest for 6,000 ounces. Lastly, Parker Schibel risks it all. Last week, Gold Rush Season 14, Episode 1, The $160 million Gamble, had it all. What is next? According to the IMDb synopsis, Tony considers moving the entire family operation to the Indian River. Parker opens the first cut at his new claim at Dominion Creek. Rick Ness brings on a new crew member, hoping to get on the gold first. Breaking it down, based on the title, it looks as though Tony Beats and his family will be allowed to go back to the Indian River. However, the previews show that setting up shop will be time-consuming. The camp looks like a mess with water leakage and damage everywhere. That time away meant that no one was maintaining their place. Next, it looks like the wash plant is in disrepair. Unfortunately, Kevin Beats is not there to deal with this issue this season. He is going to be gardening and hanging at home instead of solving these issues. Now, Tony and the Beats clan have to decide whether to head over to Indian River or remain on the hill. Parker Schibel has two choices this season. On the first episode of Gold Rush Season 14, Parker Schibel made the jaw-dropping deal of the series. He splashed out $15 million to get his own site so that he no longer has to give Tony royalties. But it isn't going to be easy to mine this land. Now, the crew has to start preparing the land at the vast new Dominion claim. Parker realizes that the people who mined this land in the past were in too much of a rush to really get the most out of this complex mining area. As he strategizes with his team, he reveals to Mitch and Tyson that they need to have a lot of work done before they start the wash plant. It will just take patience and a good plan. Gold Rush episode shows Rick Ness hiring a new member of the team. Lastly, Rick Ness needs some hard-working team members. His new addition is Morgan. She is going to do a cornucopia of jobs, but her main gig is the gold room. Her incentive is to learn as much as she can so that one day she can run her own claim. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden hue across the rugged Alaskan landscape, the crew of Gold Rush prepared for another grueling day. Season 14, Episode 2, titled Call of the Indian River, promised to be a turning point for the miners. The Indian River, notorious for its elusive gold, held the key to either their fortune or their downfall. The episode opened with Parker Schibel, the ambitious young miner who had already made a name for himself in the gold mining world. Parker's steely determination was palpable as he surveyed the Indian River claim. He knew that this stretch of river, with its treacherous currents and hidden bedrock, could either yield a motherlode of gold or break their spirits. The river's call was irresistible, a siren song that promised untold riches beneath its swirling waters. Parker's crew, a tight-knit group of seasoned miners and eager greenhorns, gathered around him. There was Rick Ness, Parker's longtime friend and former foreman, now a rival miner in his own right. Their rivalry added a layer of tension to the already high-stakes environment. Monica Beats, representing the Beats family dynasty, brought her own brand of fierce competitiveness to the mix. She was determined to prove that the Beats were still the reigning royalty of the gold mining world. As the crew set up their equipment along the riverbank, the sounds of machinery mingled with the rushing water, creating a symphony of industry and nature. The wash plant, a colossal beast of metal and gears, stood ready to sift through tons of gravel and sand, searching for those elusive flecks of gold. Every nut and bolt had been meticulously checked and rechecked. There was no room for error in this game. The first buckets of pay dirt were fed into the wash plant, and the crew watched with bated breath as the conveyor belts whirred to life. Parker's eyes gleamed with a mix of hope and anxiety. The sluice boxes, lined with riffles designed to catch even the tiniest particles of gold, began their rhythmic dance. Water gushed through, washing away lighter material and leaving the heavier gold behind. Or so they hoped. Tensions ran high as the first cleanout approached. The crew gathered around, eyes fixed on the sluice box as it was carefully dismantled. Mud-streaked faces bore expressions of anticipation and dread. Would their efforts be rewarded, or would they face another bitter disappointment? Parker's heart pounded in his chest as he saw the glint of gold among the black sand. It wasn't a motherlode, but it was a start. The Indian River had given them a taste, enough to keep the dream alive. Meanwhile, Rick Ness faced his own challenges. His claim, though promising, had been plagued by equipment breakdowns and unforeseen obstacles. As he stood by the river, watching his crew struggle with a jammed excavator, he couldn't help but feel the weight of the season bearing down on him. The Indian River was testing his resolve, pushing him to his limits, but Rick was nothing if not resilient. With a determined glint in his eye, he rallied his team, inspiring them to push through the setbacks. Back at Parker's claim, the crew was buoyed by their initial success. Spirits were high as they dug deeper into the riverbed, chasing the elusive pay streak. But the Indian River was not done testing them. A sudden rainstorm turned the river into a raging torrent, threatening to wash away their hard-won gains. The crew scrambled to secure their equipment, battling the elements with every ounce of strength they had. It was a reminder that in the world of gold mining, nature was both ally and adversary. Amidst the chaos, Parker's leadership shone through. He directed his crew with a calm authority, his voice cutting through the roar of the river. Together, they weathered the storm, emerging battered but unbroken. The experience forged a stronger bond among the team, a shared understanding that the pursuit of gold required not just skill, but tenacity and unity. As the episode drew to a close, the crew gathered around a campfire, the flickering flames casting shadows on their weary faces. They shared stories and laughter, a moment of respite from the relentless grind of mining. Parker reflected on the day's events, the highs and lows, and the ever-present call of the Indian River. It was a call that spoke to the adventure in him, the part that thrived on the challenge and the promise of discovery. Call of the Indian River was more than just an episode. It was a testament to the spirit of those who dared to seek their fortune in the unforgiving wilderness. It captured the essence of the gold rush, the camaraderie, the competition, and the unyielding pursuit of a dream. As the embers of the campfire glowed in the night, the crew knew that the journey was far from over. The Indian River had more secrets to reveal, more challenges to present, and more gold to offer to those brave enough to heed its call.